Hi. So in the last video, I have explained about what is background verification and who are the top 5 companies who does the background verification and what happens during background verification and what could be the possible consequences also if at all your background verification is negative. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what type of background verification is done, and I'll also explain you how the company prefers doing the background verifications, because everyone has a different method or everyone do not do all the verifications at a time. All right. Hi, my name is Tapish and my channel name is EduQuester. So let's get started. So there are many companies who does background verification in their own way, but mostly either a company does the background verifications at a time. That means if at all they have to do 10 background verification check, then they do it at a time before you join. Or there are companies, and majority of the companies, especially after COVID, they started doing background verification in 2 phases. They call it phase 1 or phase 2, and some companies call it L1 and L2. So I'll explain you what are these and what happens in these phases. So let's start talking about the companies, those who prefer doing the background verification at a time. There are some advantages for you if you are an employee of that organization, or if you are someone who is going to join that organization, then there are some advantages for you. So let's say you are a fresher, or let's say you are an experienced person who is already working in company X, and you have applied for company Y and you got the offer and you are going to join company Y after completing your notice period in company X. Let's say your notice period is 90 days. Okay. So what happens? You get the offer and company Y starts your background verification process. So background verification mostly are done for 10 items. I'll explain you later what are those 10 items. So while you are serving your notice period in company X, the company Y starts your background verification and they complete your background verification while you are still serving your notice period. And if the result is green, they will give you the onboarding signal. That means they will say you that, hey, your background verification report is green. That means you can join us by so and so date after completing your notice period. And if at all they find some discrepancy, when I say discrepancy, maybe some documents are missing, maybe someone is not responding on time as a result, they will get back to you, hey, we have some problem, we have some issues, can you help us out? So while you are serving a notice period, you are still not jobless, you can still help them out and get your verification sorted. Right. And if the result is again green, that means you can go back and join that company. And if at all your result is negative, you have an option to actually revoke your notice period and continue in the same organization. So that is the advantage of getting the background verification done at a time instead of doing it in L1 and L2. But that depends on the organization where you have applied and where you are about to join. So there is nothing you could do about it. Okay. Now let's talk about organizations who prefer doing verification in 2 steps. They call it L1 and L2. Mostly, as I said, there are 10 types of verification which most of the Indian companies prefer doing it. And out of this 10 checks, there are some primary checks, there are some basic checks, I would say primary or basic check. What they try to do during the L1. So the purpose of doing L1 and L2, some company believes that they will complete the L1 and they will make you join first, instead of spending money on the complete background verification, right? And during COVID, what happened? Many people lost their job and they were jobless and they wanted to join early. And at the same time, many companies were hiring rapidly. So companies, those who wanted to hire a lot of people, they also had the fear that if they make you wait to complete their entire verification, all the 10 checks, then you may start shopping. When I say shopping, maybe you have an offer from company Y and you are jobless and you are actually shopping and trying to find another jobs and negotiate. And if you have a better offer, then you would not join company Y, maybe you would join company Z with 30% better offer than the company Y. So that was the fear. So most of these organizations thought that we'll first quickly complete some of the checks in L1, make the candidate join, and then start the L2. Because they are hooking you up. That means you've joined the company and you would not start shopping or looking for other jobs as you are already in that company and while your L2 checks are going on. But after COVID, this was good as long as COVID was there, but this was also bad. So what happens? Let's say your basic checks are done and you joined company X because you did not have a job, right? Now, in the L2, where your full-fledged checks are done, if the report is negative, the company Y, where you have joined, they will ask you to leave or they will terminate you because you have negative report or they have received negative report about your when they have done your background checks. So this is the risk. But now, if you are someone who is already working in an organization, but your company Y, they are saying, you know what, we'll only do L1 and then when you join, we will do L2. There is nothing much you could do. You'll have to comply with that, but there is a risk. Understand that. You join that company, right, after completing a notice period and your background verification report comes negative, then you are losing your job. You are going to be jobless. So what you can do as a precaution when your background verification starts, right, you can check with them, are you going to do my background verifications everything at a time? You can tell them very openly that I do not want to join your company and then realize there is something wrong in my documents or there is something, there is a negative report what you have received. It's better you get my background verifications done at a time. There is nothing wrong in asking. Then you can decide whether you really want to join that company or you do not want to join that company. And if your documents are right and you're not hiding anything, everything is clear, and there is no fear, you can obviously join the company after they complete your L1 verification and then let them do the L2 verifications. And if everything is good, then the reports will also be positive and green. So this was about how the background verification done. So now let me talk about how long it takes in India to complete the background verification checks. See, I have managed domestic operations of background verifications company, and I have also managed the operations of international background verification company. Let's talk about USA. In USA, maximum 5 business days to 7 business days, background verification gets over. And trust me, it's a detailed background verifications. The reason in USA or for a US market, the background verification is done so quickly because it is very organized and people are obligated to provide the information. When I say obligated, they are bound to provide the information. If someone is calling, let's say you have joined FedEx, and when you call a company and say that, hey, you are calling on behalf of FedEx to get some background verification information about so-and-so person, the other company or the other entity is obliged or obligated to give you all the information. In India, it's a very unorganized market, and at times it becomes very, very difficult to get the information out of that entity. The entity can be a police station, the entity can be a court website, the entity can be a courthouse, the entity can be a bank, the entity can be an educational institution, and the entity can be a school, right? It is very difficult to get that information out. People don't feel obligated, don't feel obliged, they don't care about you because, you know, they are not getting paid, so they don't care about you. So in India, background verification minimum is 20 business days, maximum it can go up to like 40-45 business days also. So the number of days required for domestic background verification is huge, and at times, despite spending so much time, you still get incomplete information. Maybe you only get 70% of the information, and 30% of the information they rely on some other thing. So this is about the timeline. So you can understand there is a huge difference between the international market and the domestic market. Now, what kind of checks are done in India during the background verification? The checks are more or less same both for international job market and for domestic job market. Starting with every company, they first check your educational qualification, whether your degrees, whatever you are claiming or whatever you have claimed on your resume, or the documents what you have produced are actually valid. Because in India, there are abundance of duplicate certificate available in the market. So it is essential for any organization to verify your educational qualification. So they verify your 10th, they verify your 12th, they verify your graduation, depending on the rules the company has. There are some companies who verify all these three things. There are some companies who only verify your I'm sorry. There are some companies who only verify your latest degree. So if you are a graduate, maybe your graduation degree, what they will verify, and if you are a master degree holder, then they only verify your master degree certificate or the master degree qualification, right? But there are some companies who also prefer, depending on what kind of policy they have, they do your 10th class verification, they do your 12th verification, they do your graduation, and if at all you have any other professional certificate or any other professional degree, they do the verification of everything, just to be sure that you are what you are and you are claiming whatever you have claimed on your resume, you're actually that person, right? So this is about educational verification. After educational verification, employment verification, right? After employment verifications, I have noted down, it's a huge list. They have criminal background verification checks are done, address verifications are done, reference checks are done. They also check your provident fund, whether the company was depositing the provident fund or not, because there are many fake companies also nowadays who just give certificate if at all you do, who just give experience certificate if at all you do any course through them. So they also check whether they have been submitting or they have been depositing a provident fund or not, because if a company is providing an experience certificate, then they have to have the provident fund account also with the government, right? And they should be depositing provident fund for you, the employee provident fund. Next, the CIBIL checks are done, behavioral checks are done, and then they also do the professional verification. And I spoke about reference verification. And there are a few other small things what they also check. So 90% verification, what is being done in India and what is being done in the international market are same. There is not much difference. So I would stop this video here. I would not explain much, because anyone who's not familiar with the background verification, it could become too much. So I want you to digest this information in piecemeal, that means in a small sections. In the next video, what I would do, I would take maybe 2 topics and go in detail talking about what happens in educational background verification. If at all something is wrong, how you can make it right. Obviously, if at all you have a duplicate certificate, you cannot make it right unless and until you actually complete your graduation or you actually complete your 10th and 12th. So there is no shortcut. But there are certain things, if at all some documents are missing, I'll tell you what exactly you can do. Similarly, I'll deep dive into employment verification and tell you how exactly you can ensure before even your background verifications starts, you can find out where the background verification could go wrong and what kind of steps you can take. So please watch my next video, and if you have not watched my first video about background verifications, please go ahead and watch my first video to understand the basics about background verification, and you can find that link in the description. Trust me, no one in the YouTube has more knowledge, I can claim, than me. Since I have managed the background verification operation, hence I have the in-depth knowledge, and I'm not sure whether there are any detailed video available about background verification. And this is one of the most essential or important part of your career. And if you like my video, please do not forget to subscribe, because that will motivate me to make more videos, more such informative videos. Leave your comments, and if you need any sort of help from me, I'll be happy to reach out to you and help you out. I have almost 18 plus years of corporate experience, and still I'm working as a general manager in one of the top IT company. So I don't mind helping out someone if someone can actually get something because of my assistance, because of my consulting. I'll be happy to provide my assistance. So thank you everyone for watching. Again, please subscribe my video or subscribe to my channel. You cannot subscribe my video, subscribe to my channel. Leave your feedback and comments. And I'm not a professional YouTuber, right? I'm trying to do my best to give the best content to you so that it is easily understandable. And just leave your comment and help me out. So once again, thank you everyone. Have a great day. This is Tapash signing off. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.